I finally saw Black Panther over the weekend. Went with my mom, actually. And watched that yesterday afternoon. And it was really, really good. I know, obviously, you hear it's the #1 movie in the world. Like, okay, isn't like every new movie the #1 movie in the world at that time? Like, it's the biggest release surrounding itself. I get fed up with hearing that announcement, like, it's the #1 movie in the world, and it doesn't win, like, #1 movie in the world, money-wise. All that it is that it happens to be getting the most money out of all the movies that were released at the same time as it. So, but it is a very, very good movie. And before I continue, I'm not going to necessarily say there are any spoilers, but for those of you that might be super critical, spoiler alert from here on out. So just be aware. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. I thought it did a nice job of explaining who Black Panther is in relation to, what we saw of him in Captain America Civil War. I did watch Captain America Civil War the day before just to prepare so that I would have kind of the story in my mind. But I also was kind of confused because I have obviously seen the trailer for Avengers Infinity War, in which Black Panther shows up. Wow, that was Black Panther shows up quite a bit in that trailer, especially in relation to Captain America, which kind of struck me as odd. Because, and that's my only real complaint about this movie, is that it didn't relate to, I can't say it didn't relate to any other movies, but not as much as I thought it was going to, or perhaps that it even needed to. And this is where the spoilers kind of come into play. So if you haven't seen it yet in the last week, just be aware that this may or may not spoil some things for you. So at the end of Civil War, Captain America and his friend Bucky are essentially fugitives from the law for not signing the Sokovia Accords and trying to, they're fighting against the Avengers that did sign the Sokovia Accords. So you have Captain America, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, who else is on their team? Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and a kind of Black Widow. She kind of like helps them escape from Black Panther at the end. But it turns out, obviously, that what they were doing was good at the end of Civil War, and Black Panther realizes that Bucky was not the one who killed his father. And that's really the only part that plays into the Black Panther movie, is the scenes from Civil War in which Black Panther's father, King T'Chaka, dies at the signing of the Sokovia Accords. I'm going to stay in this left lane. And I'm sorry if this video goes a little longer than some, but there's a lot for me to talk about here. So, where was I? Oh, so T'Chaka dies at the end of Civil War. Black Panther goes on at the beginning of middle-ish of Civil War. T'Challa, Black Panther, goes on chasing Bucky, who he thinks did it. By the end of the movie, he realizes that it wasn't him. And in the end credit scene, or one of the end credit scenes, we have Captain America dropping off Bucky in Wakanda with Black Panther there. And he's explaining, he's like, thank you for doing this for him. People are going to come looking for him if we're not careful. Yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to Black Panther, which takes place, as far as I can understand, a week after the events of Civil War. And there's no mention of Bucky or Captain America or anyone. It actually starts with Black Panther coming back to Wakanda after the events of Civil War, after his dad's death, and kind of taking over the role as king. In Civil War, we saw him back there already. Unless he did it secretly from his whole people, which I doubt, based on what you see in Black Panther. But then throughout all of the Black Panther movie, there's no mention or view of Captain America, of Bucky. in the Wakanda area throughout the whole film. Until, this is again, spoiler, until we get to the very, very end credit scene. Not the mid-credit scene, but the end credit scene. We see Bucky finally emerge from some hut on Wakanda, or in Wakanda. And so we're reminded that he's there. But then you get to the trailer for Infinity War, and it looks like Cap has been there the whole time because he's got this black suit with these special shield arms that are clearly made by the people of Wakanda. And so that was the part that frustrated me. The story, the development of the characters, the acting, it really left no questions unanswered except that one. How did the events of Civil War play into this movie, which is then going to play into Infinity War? And maybe that question will be answered later this year. I don't know. But I have to believe that Cap and Bucky and the rest of the group, well, at the end of Civil War, we see Captain America spring the rest of the group from prison. But they're still on the run. I mean, they just broke out of prison, after all. So, it's a messy, kind of muddy situation as far as how one movie begins the next. But, like I said, extremely great movie. It was well worth the extra money to see it in IMAX. It was just, well shot, well acted, well written. Very clearly kind of spoke to the African American agenda of oppression, but not just African American, worldwide, people that are oppressed in trafficking or slavery or any of those things. It spoke to that. And very strong female roles also. And I know that's weird coming from me, that's kind of a middle-class white man, to speak to impoverished or oppressed people and or the women's cause. But it definitely, I recognize it, and I know that people in those groups probably appreciate that. So that's also a point in the thumbs up column for Black Panther. But yeah, it was a good movie, so I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Obviously, we have Infinity War coming out here soon, so to be able to say that I've seen all the movies leading up to that is going to be helpful to kind of explain that story. So that's what we've got for this morning. It's Monday. I am heading into school after a long weekend, and I'll see you this afternoon.